Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to the Builders Pitch Fest 2026 introductory session. How are you guys? Hope you all are doing well. I am Chevy and I will be your host for the day. So let's read the comments. Hi Ankita. Hello. Hi. Good evening. Hi. Yes. So, welcome everyone for Builders Pitch Fest 2026 by BITSoM Vertex and Hacker Skill. So, in our today's session, we will be covering everything about the program, about BITSoM, about the timeline, about the different tracks which we have, about the problem statements, and we have our dedicated speakers also who will be taking up today's session with all your queries. So, without wasting a minute, let's come and introduce them. So, for our today's session, we have Mr. Arvind, who is a managing director at BITSoM Vertex, and Mr. Amit, who is a head of marketing at BITSoM. So, let's welcome them on stage. Hi Amit. How are you? Hi Arvind. Good. How are you?
All good, all good.
Yeah. Hi. So,
Hi,
the
Arvind.
stage is all yours. We can start with the session now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction, Shaivi. And it's absolutely wonderful to see a large number of founders, developers, and people from the community show up for this session. We're delighted to tell you a little bit more about this fantastic program that we're building. And Arvind and I are fully geared for this session. So let's make it interactive. Let your questions come in as they hit you, and we'd be happy to take them up. If there are some questions that we can't perhaps take up in the middle of the session, we'll certainly answer them towards the end. So, having said that, let's get started. And big thank you to Mr. Arvind for joining us from California. So, it's really early in the morning. So, good morning, Arvind.
Good
We're just
morning. No
getting
worries. I've got my coffee with me, so I'm all set.
and being an Indian guy, I've got my cup of chai.
I love it.
All right, so super. Let's get started. Um, what we thought is we'll start by giving you some context, and may I request, to telling you a little bit about what we're doing here. So we really have a fantastic event in the form of the Builders Pitch Fest. And if you're wondering what this is, it's really an entry route to this wonderful incubation program that we built, which we're calling BITSoM Vertex. Now, this is a joint effort, something that we're doing as a team, where we've got the BIT School of Management working very closely with Lens AI Innovation Studio. And Lens AI Innovation Studio is really helping us get all those lovely warm connects to the Silicon Valley insiders, get access to those playbooks, and help us instill a really strong product mindset. Can we go to the next slide, please? Right. So essentially, this incubator is something that we're building for early stage B2B startups, right? And what we're really setting out to do is we want to empower 100 startups. We want to graduate 100 startups from our incubator program over the next 3 years. And we're starting off this year with a bang, right? So we're starting off with a nationwide hunt, and that's how many of you have been introduced to the program, perhaps heard from people in the community. And we really want to help ambitious AI founders move to the next level and really focus on outcomes that matter. Outcomes like enterprise validation, enterprise pilots, fantastic mentorship from the bits ecosystem, from Lens, as also our industry partners. Yes. Right. So, Arvind, maybe I can request you to comment a little bit about the different stages that we have. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So absolutely, Amit. So startups, founders, anybody who's passionate towards building and re-engineering enterprises. First of all, welcome to the program. So happy to have all of you here. And Amit, thank you for having me on this program. I'm really excited to also see some of the questions that the startups and founders will come out with today. So before I dive into the stage itself, I kind of want to make a comment here. You know, over the next 5 to 10 years, enterprises across the country, enterprises across the nation, and across the world are going to go through a fundamental re-engineering where every function, HR, marketing, finance, operations, every vertical, whether it's healthcare or it's industry 4.0, every one of them is going to go through a re-engineering with artificial intelligence. And we are hoping you're here today with that ambition, right? To re-engineer that enterprise, to fundamentally rethink how workflows inside enterprises need to be. And our incubator is particularly an early stage incubator because we feel that's where you need the most support. And hopefully that's where we can add the most value. And so those early stage startups who are in the forefront of disrupting enterprises, we are breaking up these startups into two stages. One is idea to MVP, where you have this, you have domain expertise, you have AI expertise, or you have this burning idea on how an enterprise needs to completely redesign itself. And you want to come into our program, or let us say that you've started your journey in that, where you've started building some MVPs. Today, with Cursor or Claude Code or any of these tools, it's really easy to start building MVPs. And so, a lot of you may be in a little more of a beyond an idea stage into building your MVPs. For those startups that are in that idea to MVP stage, where you don't have early customers yet, where you're just starting to establish your idea, you're proving your point, you're trying to figure out what your market is, those are what we would call stage one startups. And for stage one startups, we have a particular route called the Builders Pitch Fest that Amit and I are going to talk a lot about today. For founders who are a little more in the advanced early stage, again, this is close to seed, so almost pre-seed, where maybe you have your first round of funding, or maybe you're looking for your first round of funding, you have one or two customers, or you're trying to break into your first customer. Those types of startups, we call you stage two early stage startups. You have an option to apply directly into our program, and we will cover that today.
Awesome. So thanks for covering that, Arvind. And we thought that we'd start off by articulating why you should look at really participating here. And I think some of the big headers that we see here kind of hit all the home runs. I'd like to start with the Silicon Valley mentorship first, because I think when you get access to those playbooks and seniors and insiders working from Silicon Valley, get to learn from them, attend master classes, I think that will be a fantastic big differentiator. The second big one is the enterprise pilots. So our intention is to have, as best as possible, do some kind of match between the startup and an enterprise customer, right? You can choose to work on existing enterprise problem areas, or you could choose to come forward with your own unique idea. Both are welcome in equal measure. The only difference is that if you were to choose to work with an enterprise problem area, there's a higher probability of being matched more quicker with a possible customer who can then participate in a pilot with you. In addition to that, there'll be a dedicated MBA crew from BITSoM We have some fantastically talented MBA students, and they can help you in different areas. And you have access to institutional investors, as also a whole bunch of cloud and GPU credits. Yes. Now, this is something I'd really like to stress upon. BITSoM is part of the larger BITS Pilani network. We are based in the BITS Pilani Mumbai campus. Incidentally, on our campus, we have not one but three fantastic institutes. We have BITSoM, which is the School of Management. We have BITS Design, which is a design institute, and as well as BITS Law. And this interdisciplinary campus, was built on the foundation of collaboration and innovation. And what we're leaning on to a large extent is learning from the mothership, which is BITS Pilani. So we have a strong legacy of innovation. In fact, I remember reading a recent article that BITS Pilani has more deep tech startups in India than even IIT Mumbai or Delhi. That doesn't mean it has more startups in every domain, but deep tech is definitely one domain where BITS Pilani is definitely going ahead. Another thing is that we've got a fantastic network of not only global CEOs, but also people who've gone on to found their own companies. So it's a really strong innovation network that you can bank upon for connections, for warm introductions, and things like that. Let's go to the next slide, please. Okay, so Arvind, this is where I'd like you to maybe spend a few minutes talking to them about the different problem areas.
Sure. That sounds good, Amit. Um, so, as Amit told you, one of the core goals of our incubator is to, as much as possible, find or pair you with enterprise pilots, right? This is one of the most compelling reasons for any startup to be part of our incubator, because our thesis is that if you co-create with a customer, and this happens all the time in Silicon Valley, if you co-create with a customer, the odds of your success goes up. And if you can co-create from day one, imagine understanding the customer's pain points, being able to interact with them. Even if possible, as an AI startup, imagine having access to some data sets that everybody else may not have access to. So this is the type of benefits we want to try to bring to you. So what we have done in this first cohort that you would be joining is we already have a set of enterprise problems and a set of enterprise partners we're working with who have given certain problem statements that is true and dear to them. And if you were to choose these problem statements, or if you're working in startups in these problem statement areas, we will be pairing you up with those enterprises and enterprise partners immediately. But this does not mean that to enter our program, you need to be in any of these six areas. These are just areas where today we have enterprise partners. Any area you come in the B2B space, right? Any idea you have apart from these are just a drop in the ocean. We will go find those enterprise partners, right, and bring them in. That is our goal. So, and that's our vision. So with that, let me articulate some of the enterprise problems that have already come in and our partners have put out for us, right? So number one, we have BFSI. We have a leading bank in India. And when you join our program, we'll tell you more about it. We have a leading bank in India, one of India's top 3 to 4 banks, who are working with us as an enterprise partner. And if you were to solve BFSI problems, if you were to come in solving problems in that area, they will be working with you. In fact, you will even meet them at the Builders Pitch Fest, and they'll be working with you throughout the program. Similarly, if you're solving edtech AI problems, our own BITS network, imagine having access to the BITS network and being able to have BITS as your first enterprise pilot, right? That means a lot. So, BITS will be your partner if you're solving edtech AI problems. Sales automation AI agents. We have a leading AI based hardware company in India. They are going to be a partner when you solve sales automation AI problems. And sales automation, everybody understands this, but we'll be sharing more information about it. You can find it on our website. Innovation AI agents, if you're solving problems in those areas, Lens ourselves, we will be your partner. HR automation agents, once again, we have a massive company that is based in Silicon Valley in India who will be working with you if you're solving HR automation agent problems. Their CPO, Chief Product Officer, is going to be a part of this program. So as you can see, we're just giving you a sample for how, when you're solving certain enterprise problems, our goal is to bring you enterprise pilots and customers. Obviously, you still need to win those pilots. You will need to win the heart of those customers and work with them. But our job is to open up that access for you, right? And these are just some enterprise problems we've identified, but feel free to solve these or any one that you want to come in with.
Awesome. And at this point, let me clarify, as Arvind said, you are not limited by any of these problem statements. If you have an idea of your own, you are absolutely welcome to participate. And the second thing is you are not tied down to any specific enterprise partner. So, it's an open ground. It's just that having that enterprise partner, having that enterprise validation and pilot can really help you get your startup off the ground, get some real business flowing perhaps, and then that makes it that much easier for you to go to the next stage of trying to secure funding. Now, Arvind, now having laid the foundation blocks of some of our basic elements of our program, let's pick up the pace a little bit. And guys, what we thought is we'll focus on a Q&A style approach, but let's see if we got a few more foundation slides to cover. So can we move to the next slide, please? Okay, so let me just quickly run you through, a broad timeline, which gives you some perspective. So our applications are already open, right? And if you haven't applied already, please do so. If you have applied, fantastic. Stay engaged, stay committed. We've got a 5-week sprint, which kickstarted on the 5th of August. It culminates on the 6th of September. And here's your chance to actually refine what you bring to the table and also get some mentorship. On the 15th of September, our intention is to shortlist about 150 startups who will then come to Mumbai for the Builders Pitch Fest. Now, this is a 2-day event. On the first day, you're building. On the second day, you're pitching. So that's why it's called the Builders Pitch Fest. And at the end of the Builders Pitch Fest, 30 to 40 startups will actually be selected to join our incubation program. We've broken this down into cohort 1 and cohort 2, and we'll cover that in a little bit more detail as we progress. Okay, let's go quickly to the next slide. Fantastic. So this is the one I was waiting for, right? And we have Shaivi joining us as So go ahead, Shaivi.
So before this, we have some questions in the comment section. So I'll just put them up and can answer them. So the first question is, what does enterprise pilot mean?
Arvind? Arvind, would you like to answer that?
Sorry. So an enterprise pilot is it's a minimum viable product that you would build along with an enterprise customer that will hopefully get installed and used by them so that they can give you comments, feedback, and eventually they can determine if they can use it in their own enterprise. And eventually, our goal is hopefully, if your pilot is good, then the enterprise may become your first customer itself. And even if they don't, the fact that they piloted your product gives you immediate instant feedback that then allows you to approach other enterprises and work with them. So that's an enterprise pilot.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Arvind. Hope, Abhishek, this answers your question. Moving ahead, we can begin with these questions.
All right.
Yeah.
So one question which I think would be on many people's mind is that is there any fee or any cost involved? So let's quickly sort that out. Okay. So firstly, there is no participation fee. And the second point, I can't stress enough, there is no equity expectation from our side. If you join our incubator program, we are not taking any equity in your venture. We are, however, giving you full support, right? There are no fees to join the program itself. The only cost that you may incur as a startup, as a founder, is that you may need to travel to Mumbai, firstly for the Builders Pitch Fest, and we have 2 immersion weeks at the BITSoM campus. So for that as well, you have to travel to Mumbai. Once you're on campus, then we're taking care of you. So absolutely. Let's go to the next one, please. Okay, Arvind, why don't you feel this one? Why should folks look at joining the BITSoM Vertex incubator program when you actually have many different other incubators and accelerators out there?
Sure, Amit. My most favorite question, by the way. Yeah, I think there are. It isn't one. There's multiple reasons why you should be joining BitSom Vertex. The first one, like I said, is that our vision is to co-create along with a customer, and I think very few or almost no other incubator offers that ability to co-create with customers. So enterprise pilots obviously is the first major reason you should join us, and that's our vision from day one. The second one is the fact that we are bringing a new mindset, a product based mindset. As all of you know, India is a very service based economy. And so we are bringing in a new product based mindset. So we have a unique 10-week program that when you come out of our program, you would have learned some of the best practices that over the last 10 to 20 decades, Silicon Valley has honed and Silicon Valley entrepreneurs have honed. And and interestingly, because of Lens presence in Silicon Valley, it now gives you a doorway into Silicon Valley customers. So I know a lot of you most probably have the ambitions of working with Silicon Valley or US based customers. And this is sort of your gateway to that, right? The third one that is absolutely unique about our program, and honestly, one of my most favorite things, is that we are going to pair every startup entering our program with 3 to 5 top caliber, highly intelligent BITS students. And in cohort one, these students will be coming from our BITS School of Management in Mumbai, who is the one who is responsible for this entire program. So, 3 to 5 students will be joining each startup and working with you for those 10 weeks. And this is a two elective program for the students. So, they are very serious about this, and having access to that kind of talent in this early stage of your startup is going to be highly useful for you. And these students are not entering this program lightly. We have an entrance test to them. We are trying to understand what their AI past experiences are. They're going to go through a prerequisite program and a test to make sure that they have AI caliber in them. So, and obviously, as you know, they've already gone through the BIT's own filtration process and screening process. So you can imagine the caliber of people who are going to be working with you for all 10 weeks. Apart from that, obviously, we've got mentors, professors, etc., who'll be working with you. The last two aspects that's absolutely unique about our program is that when you're on your own today, you may be able to access 2000 credits, 4000 credits, etc. But when you enter our program, because we have unique partnerships with enterprise partners like Google, AWS, MongoDB, etc., we will be able to open up access to up to 40,000 AI credits for you. So you can literally build your entire MVP or your early stage pilot using the infrastructure we give you. And for a few unique startups who are solving very tough problems, very challenging problems, like if you're trying to fine tune models or if you're building an AI harness that's really deep, then, and if your story is very compelling, we may be able to open even up to $250,000 of AI infrastructure access for you, right? So that's the unique gateway into this program. And obviously, as Amit also mentioned, you will have access to not just us, but you will have access to the BITS alumni network, depending on what problem you're solving and depending on how compelling your ideas are. We will also open up access to the BITS alumni network for you. So certain reasons that you will not find anywhere else in any other incubator. So hopefully these are compelling for you, and yeah, we look forward to helping you with these.
Awesome. Let's go to the next question. All right. So I'm sure this is something that many people are already thinking. I have a B2C startup, or am I eligible? And let's just clarify this. This is for early stage B2B startups. So unfortunately, if you're a B2C startup, it's not something that we're looking at right now. In subsequent cohorts, if we can look at enabling that or opening doors for B2C startups, we'll definitely look at that. But right now, to get off the ground, we're focusing on B2B startups. All right. Let's look at the next question, please. I think the presentation that we were sharing, that has kind of um, not visible right now. Okay, Shaibi is back. Can
Yeah.
we look at the
Yeah.
next question, Shaibi?
Yeah. So we have few questions in the comment section which
Sure.
we need to take it up. So the first question is, what happens if a team member cannot attend the full 10-week online program due to unforeseen circumstances?
That's a good question. Um, See, there are a lot of things that we're bringing to the table. We're not charging any fee. We're not expecting any equity. But what we want to be 100% clear about is that we want serious, committed folks. And if you cannot commit 10 weeks for the program, you should reconsider whether this is for you. So we want serious, committed folks to follow through, stay committed throughout the program, and deliver exceptional value.
Great. So the other question which we have is, if my startup is at the idea stage without an MVP, do I stand an equal chance against team with working products?
Arvind, please, may I request you to answer this one?
Yes, you do. Our program is specifically designed to accommodate startups in all the early stages, from zero all the way to seed, right? That's an early stage startup. If you're a startup with a great idea, my recommendation to you is the following: immediately sign up for Builders Pitch Fest, which is happening on September 26th, and join the program. That's where you can show us that you have the capability to build. And in fact, you will be building part of your MVP at the Builders Pitch Fest, so that you can show us that you can build and you will be able to handle the 10-week rigor that this program will have. And I would also recommend that you spend the next 3 to 6 weeks thinking about your MVP and starting to build it immediately. In today's world, having an idea and not building an MVP tomorrow morning is a grave mistake. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for you not to be able to start building an MVP tomorrow morning if you have an idea today. I would highly recommend you do that and join Builders Pitch Fest immediately. That's your gateway into our program if you're an early stage with idea.
Thank you,
Great.
Arvind. That was a really
Thank
nice,
you so
clear
much.
answer. Yeah.
So we can move with this question. I have a B2C startup, so may I apply? Yeah.
So we've already answered this. This is only for B2B early stage startups. And we may have, scenarios where someone would say, hey, I'm not exactly B2B, I'm B2B2C, so I'm hybrid to that extent. But we really want to be able to see very clearly your strategy for going after that segment. Because B2B, to be very clear, is the audience that we are looking at. Correct. Let's move to the next question, please. Okay, so this is something that we've answered a little earlier, but it's important to kind of specify this once again. The answer is no. We will not be taking any equity or stake. You have full control, and that's what's really amazing about the BITSoM Vertex program. Okay. Ah, Arvind, why don't you feel this one? What
Yeah.
are we offering them, and what we expect in return?
So I think in the previous slide, we offered everything that we are doing unique about our program and we are offering. We've covered Amit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the question on what we expect from the startups.
Sure.
So I think both Amit and I, over the last 30 minutes, have articulated for all the founders here on all the exceptional benefits we are building into this program for you, and also the fact that we are not taking any equity stake, right? So, what do we expect from you? Number one, we expect a strong 100% attendance commitment to the 10-week program. That 10-week program has been designed for your benefit. And every part of that program is going to prepare you to completely re engineer enterprises, rethink workflows, build a product based mindset. And so we expect 100% attendance for that particular 10-week program, no exceptions to this. Number two, we expect you to come in with either strong domain expertise or AI expertise, one of the two. Because if you have to survive through our program, you need to have either the domain expertise so that you can work with a technical founder and build it, or the AI expertise so that you can find a domain expert and build something. In the enterprise B2B space, if you don't have those two aspects, then it's going to be challenging for you to get through the program. Number three, and this is extremely important to us, the BITS brand has been around for over 60 plus years, and it has a certain equity, not just in India, across the world. Very few people in the professional business do not know the BITS brand. And so this brand stands for something. It stands for a level of professionalism, it stands for a level of caliber, and it stands for a level of integrity. And so when you join our program, you are not just joining an incubator, you are joining the BITS family. And so we expect a certain level of professionalism in our particular program. We will cover that when you enter our program. And again, those are areas where there are no exceptions and no leeways there. So the 100% attendance, the expertise, the passion, and the professionalism is what, Amit, we would expect coming into this program.
Awesome. Thank you for articulating that, Arvind. And if you could just go back to the previous slide for a second, there's one thing that someone asked a very relevant question, and I think we can answer that. It's like, if I am a solo founder, is it okay if I join and add a tech founder later? So the answer is definitely yes. Solo founders are absolutely welcome. However, before the Builders Pitch Fest, it's really important that you have a technical co-founder who is joining with you, because let's not forget, day one of the Builders Pitch Fest is about building. So you need someone with technical expertise to be present, and that's absolutely critical. Okay, so let's go to the next question, please, Shaivi. Okay. This is a nice one. Who is this program for? And on the contrary, who is it not for? So let's look at the answers. Okay. So this is really for people who are from India, who are domain experts, or who have AI expertise, and you're really very focused on tackling large enterprise problems, right? It could be medium or large. I mean, the point is to have that B2B focus, right? However, this program is not for folks who are currently studying or who are currently working but unable to take that break. So when we say that we want you to be there for that entire 10 weeks, we want you to be there on a full-time basis, right? And there are 2 campus immersion weeks. Having said that, it's not a residential program. It's not like you're giving us 10 weeks of your life and staying with us for 10 weeks. So let there be no confusion there. However, during that 10 weeks, there will be a high level of engagement, there will be a high level of interaction, high level of mentorship, and therefore we want your commitment to be there, to be present, and to be available. Absolutely. You also need to have a formal company incorporated if you are selected. If you already have it incorporated, great. If you don't, we can assist you there. Okay.
Amit, let me add one more quick thing to it.
Please,
So
please.
the entire program is offline, so you can attend this 10-week program from wherever you are. However, there are 2 immersion weeks where you will be coming to the BITSoM campus. And those 2 immersion weeks are in the first week of the program and in the fifth or sixth week of the program. Those 2 immersion weeks, it will be a mandatory requirement for you to be on campus present with us, because those 2 weeks we're going to have multiple workshops, we're going to have sessions with our professors, our students, we're going to be bringing in enterprise partners, speakers, master classes. deep dive product building skills. So for that, you have to be there in person, right, Amit? So that is a hard requirement.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. Great. Let's move to the next question. Okay, this is something which is straight up your alley. What really are we assessing when we're selecting startups for this program?
So obviously, number one is, as we said, we want to look at a what is your level of technical depth and what is your level of problem understanding, right? So problem understanding, essentially domain expertise, is a proxy for problem understanding. So we will be assessing how much you understand the problem that you're looking to solve. And so even if you don't have domain expertise, figure out a way to communicate with us and show us that you understand the problem that you're looking to solve. Number three, we are absolutely looking for a certain level of resilience and adaptability to this program. And this is why we have the Builders Pitch Fest. So, on the 2 days in the Builders Pitch Fest, we're going to be seeing how fast you can build, how adaptable are you to looking at new problems, new ideas. Can you work with a team? Can you work with different types of inputs? And what is your resilience, right? And then you're also going to be pitching, not only building, but you're going to be pitching to enterprise partners, you're going to be pitching to an audience. And so we will be looking at your entrepreneurial capabilities, right? How well can you pitch? How well can you articulate? How passionate are you about your idea? And the last thing that we're going to be looking for, obviously, is a level of execution commitment. Are you able to dedicate those 10 weeks, right? And these are the more of the logistical things. Are you able to dedicate those 10 weeks? What do you plan to do once those 10 weeks are done? All right. Because our plan is once you graduate from our program, we want to put you in front of investors. We want to put you in front of enterprises who may be interested in investing in your startup. So are you ready for that, right? Do you have the commitment to do that? So those are some of the things that we're going to be looking for as our selection criteria.
Fantastic. Thank you for articulating that. And Arvind, when you talked about technical depth, today I see many people who have got startups where they're bringing an AI spin to an underlying product. So it's really important that it's not just about having an AI wrapper, right? I mean, you really want something which is a genuine AI product, right?
That's correct, Amit. That's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely. In fact, one of the underlying themes in our program is that keep it real, right? Where we are looking for ideas that are solving enterprise problems, but also have the ability to build something that is differentiated. So if you are solving enterprise problem and you're building an AI harness or an AI loop or an AI agent, is there something differentiated about what you're building? Because a lot of enterprises today are trying to build their own solutions. We are in this new builders mode. And so, if you're not bringing something differentiated to the table, and if you're just trying to build a wrapper on top of existing problem, and I want to use the word wrapper consciously. When I use the word AI wrapper, what I mean is an AI solution that doesn't have much differentiation that anybody can build. That's what we mean by an AI wrapper. So ensure you tell us what is it differentiated about what you're doing. What type of sweat equity are you going to put in or you've already put in that's going to create a differentiation for you when you enter this particular market? So Amit, that's what we mean by a non-AI or an AI wrapper.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that, Arvind. I think that will really help a lot of folks out here. So let's quickly move to the next question. So this I think is fairly simple. What is the Builders Pitch Fest, and how is it really different from this 5 week sprint? Let me answer that. If we can move to the answer slide. So the 5 week sprint is really phase one of our process, right? So it's a nationwide hunt where we're looking for good ideas. Then we're checking for the quality as well as looking at the credentials of the founders and looking at the overall thing that you bring to the table, right? Phase two is where you have the Builders Pitch Fest, which, as we explained, is spread over a 2 day program. Day one is where you're building, so having someone with technical expertise is key. and day two is when you're pitching. So having someone with good communication skills, being able to showcase your solution is also equally important. And the final selection is where we are selecting 40 startups, right? So 40 startups are what we're going to be selecting to join our incubator program. 20 will start as cohort 1 and 20 will start as cohort 2. So Shaivi, I think a lot of questions have been coming in the chat, I
Yes.
mean in the comment section as well. Maybe we should take some of those up.
Yeah, the comments are flooded with the questions. It's great.
Fantastic. Sure, sure. Happy to answer them.
So before we dive into the next question, Amit, I'm going to add one comment to the Builders
Sure.
Pitch Fest here. So as you know, we articulated what is a stage one and a stage two startup at the beginning of this program. So
Right.
if you're more in stage one, that's when you would apply for Builders Pitch Fest. Or if you're in stage two and you still feel that your story is not strong enough, if you feel that your MVPs are not strong enough, or you don't have enough proof points to enter a particular program, I highly recommend that you apply to the Builders Pitch Fest, because there definitely we get to see your caliber, we get to see your MVP, we get to see your pitch, etc. So Builders Pitch Fest is targeted for stage one startups, and stage two startups can apply directly. We have online, we have email. So go into that email, click it, and apply directly into our program. If you feel that you're in a much advanced stage and you don't need to prove yourself to the Builders Pitch Fest, or you don't need the support and mentorship that Builders Pitch Fest will bring for you.
Awesome. Thanks for answering that. Okay, Arvind,
Yeah.
there's a question that's come through about, how the AI infrastructure credits will actually be distributed.
Yeah, I love this question because it's going to bring a smile to all of you. The 40,000 AI infrastructure credits is for every team. So, for every startup going through our program, each of you will have access to 40,000 credits for your own teams. This 40,000 is not shared among all startups. So, what that means is that if we are having 40 startups in our program, we have access to $1.6 million in AI infrastructure credits that will be shared among all of you, right? So, 40,000 today is what we have set aside per startup, and you will have access to that. Of course, you've got to earn it in the sense that you got to show us what you're building, and you got to get into our program and things like that. But you have access to 40,000 credits per startup.
Awesome. This is some really serious stuff. And I would imagine that startups need to complete a few forms, go through some hoops before they can get it. It's not just offered on a platter. But at the same time, we've really facilitated access in the most genuine way possible so that every startup can get access to this entire 40,000 credit, right? I mean, and this
Correct.
is across different players,
Correct.
right?
Great. So we have another question, which is, can technical co-founders who are solopreneurs apply for the Build Fest 2026?
Absolutely.
Absolutely yes. 100% yes. You're welcome.
Great. The next question which we have, what is the online and offline schedule? Does the offline in-person immersion takes care of stay and other relevant expenses as well?
So I'll take the latter part of the question, and Arvind, maybe you can take the former. So once you're here on the BITSoM campus, we take care of your stay and we take care of your F&B, right? Once you're on campus, this is for the 2 immersion weeks. What you do have to take care of your own is the travel to our campus. But once you walk into campus, then of course we're taking care of all those expenses. If you have other things that you'd like to consume over and above what we are bringing to the table, you can carry some extra pocket money. We have some stores, some departmental stores on campus where you can buy stuff that you need. There will be accommodation provided to you. So that's what the immersion week is all about. uh, Regarding the online offline schedule, Arvind, please.
Yeah, Amit, it's so amazing that BitSom is taking care of the entire stay, right? For those 5, 6 days. That's amazing. Uh, I'm really hoping the startups hear that. So, what is the online and offline schedule? So, as I mentioned, it's a 10-week program. All 10 weeks, you are offline, where you'll be working with your student teams, your mentors, etc., on this 10-week program. But 2 weeks is going to be online, and those 2 weeks will be the first week of the program, and either the fifth or the sixth week of the program. Those two will be your immersion weeks, and the first week will get you up to speed on everything you need to be successful. And the fifth and sixth week immersion program will give you an interim checkpoint.
Arvind, I think you flipped the terms. So actually, the entire program is online, and 2 weeks are offline. But you said it the other way around.
Okay, got it. All right. Yeah, the offline online terminology can confuse me sometimes, Amit. Thank you for clarifying that.
No, no,
So
it was a genuine slip. I mean, I know
yeah,
where you're coming from. So the entire program is online. You can attend it anywhere you are. But for those 2 weeks, you have to be on campus.
correct. Thank you,
All right.
Amit, for clarifying that.
Yeah.
No
We
problem.
have one more question. It is, will we have access to dedicated APIs during the hackathon build sprint?
No, not for this particular. Not you will have access, as I said. We're going to open up to 40,000 AI credits for you once you enter the program. But in the hackathon itself, no, you will not have. It is number one, you will bring your own stack because every startup is doing something different. We may have up to 150 startups at the Builders Pitch Fest. Each of you are solving different problem statements. Each of you are in different stages of development, and so you will bring your own AI stack. We give you full flexibility to choose any AI stack to solve your problem, and you will also have to have your own API access. But the good news is that the intensity, what we're looking for is how well you build, how well you execute, and within those 8 hours, what can you do to impress us, right? So the amount of API or AI credits you will use up in the Builders Pitch Fest is going to be quite minimal. What we're looking for more is execution capability.
Awesome.
Yeah, now we can take these questions which we're
Sure.
taking. Yeah.
Okay, so I think this has been answered already, Shaivi. Whether it's a
Yes.
residential incubator, we've clarified that it's completely, off. It's completely online. It's just 2 weeks that are, on campus,
True. Yeah.
right? Okay. Do you need to sign a contract? That's again a good question. I think that might be on many people's minds. So we thought we'll bring it up front. Yes, you would need to sign a contract, which gets you into the BITSoM Vertex program. Having said that, we're not taking any equity. We're just signing a contract to kind of formalize the arrangement. And when you come to a commercial pilot, if you're working directly with enterprise customers, let's say someone is sharing data with you, someone is giving you access to some of their systems, we don't want to be a go through party there. So there you would essentially be signing an agreement directly with the enterprise partner based on the needs and requirements that are articulated by both parties. Okay, Arvind, may I request you to answer this one regarding IP protection and privacy?
Sure. So as with any incubator, our IP contracts and our IP treatment is very similar. So if you've been through any incubator program, ours is pretty standard. It is no different. So we will have the same IP clauses that any incubator has, and as you know, the IP is yours. BITSoM Vertex will have no stake in your IP. So your IP will be protected once you enter this program, and you will also be signing your own contracts with enterprises. So like Amit said, when you sign your enterprise contracts, we leave it to you and the enterprise to determine how your IP will be treated, but obviously we will be there to help you facilitate those contracts that you have with enterprises. But we have also set pretty reasonable expectations for our enterprise partners on the sensitivity of IP and how important it is for you as a startup to have complete ownership of your intellectual property.
Awesome. I think that kind of clarifies that point. Um, so, yeah. So this is a question regarding access to the BITS Pilani network. And we have business leaders, we have CEOs, we also have a lot of startups within the larger BITS Pilani alumni network. And it's a pretty massive network, as you can imagine, that's been built over 60 years, not just across one campus, but across several branch campuses. So can we go to the answer slide, please? The answer is a resounding yes. You will get access, and it will be done for startups that are showing a high level of technical credibility as well as commitment. And commitment is a word I'd like to underline. It's something that we've stressed often in the course of this presentation because we're looking for really serious folks to be part of this program. So you've completed the second immersion week, right? And you're building something which is relevant. Let's say what you're building is A, and you want an introduction to company B, which is not related to your domain, then that doesn't make sense, right? But if you're building something which is relevant to a company which is an alumni-led enterprise, we'd be happy to make the introduction, facilitate a dialogue, which then allows you to showcase your solution and walk that much closer to getting more potential customers. Arvind, if you'd like to comment or add something, please do.
No, we're good, Amit. We can move to the next question. I think your answer is spot on.
Okay. Okay, what regarding the MBA crew that will work with you? Now, this is another interesting point. It's a strong differentiator for the BITSoM Vertex program. Now, BITSoM is one of the premier business management schools in the country. Depending upon the needs of the startup, we could assign 3 to 5, students to work with you. They'll work with you for the entire 10-week period. Think of them as an extended part of your team. And the best part, they're motivated to do a good job, and they're not asking you to pay them a salary. They're not asking you to pay them a stipend. They're working as an extended part of your team, and y'all can between yourselves. This is something that we'd love you to take a lead on, where you can decide what part of the journey you want their assistance in. So if you want them to focus on doing some research, perhaps fine tuning your go to market strategy, or maybe helping you get started on the business development side, or focus on some aspect of the execution, the ball is really in your court. You're managing them remotely, and you check in with them often. We're here to play the role of the facilitator in case there's some hiccups. We're happy to kind of solve any hiccups if any arise. But the idea is that you're working with a fantastic crew that's helping you succeed. All right, Arvind, I'd love you to answer this one. So when we say Silicon Valley playbook, Silicon Valley expertise, what are we actually referring to here?
So, multiple things here. The first one is that you will have access to obviously Silicon Valley mentorship. Already, if you go to our website, you will find that the Enterprise Council that is even advising this entire program has the ex CTO of Wipro who lives in Silicon Valley, and she's been working at Walmart, PayPal, and other leading companies. Number two, Lens has been, and I have been a resident of Silicon Valley for about 2 decades. And Lens has worked with all most leading enterprise customers on strategy, innovation, and Lens has also been involved in building AI incubators, AI accelerators. So we will bring a level of expertise into the program, and that particular Silicon Valley mindset that I think is going to be really important for you if you want to succeed as a B2B AI startup. And of course, the last one is we will be bringing in masterclasses and workshops where you will be hearing from professors, industry experts, and leaders across not just Silicon Valley, but most of the United States of America.
Thank you for that, Arvind. At this point, let me also add that you are limited only by your own ambition and vision. What we are really wanting is to kind of work with startups that have the appetite, that have that desire to scale globally. And I'd like to articulate that very clearly. So India is a fantastic market. Building for India, fantastic. But if you'd like to work on a slightly larger canvas, we're here to support you. Okay, this is an interesting one, Arvind. The difference between cohort 1 and cohort 2. And I'd request you to please take this one.
Sure. So cohort one begins October to December. Cohort two is January to March. Now, as you know, we are going to down select 40, or we're going to allow 40 startups to enter our program. That's quite a high number. And once the Builders Pitch Fest is over, these 40 startups are going to be selected into our program. And out of the 40 startups, our plan is to then further work with you to decide which are the 20 that are more in a more advanced stage. And the ones who are in a little more of an advanced stage, and we believe that you can get through our program within about a 3 month time period, you will be going through cohort one, October to December. And in December, we'll put you in front of investors because we believe working with you within the 3 month time period, we can get you to a point where you're ready for investment or you're ready for your enterprise customers, right? You got to be ready for one of the two to graduate from our program. And for the remaining 20 startups, what we will do is who we think where you need a little bit more work before you can enter our program. From October to December, cohort 2 will go through some form of a prerequisite where you will still be working with us. We will guide you on certain things you need to be doing during those 3 months, either execution wise, product building wise, customer wise, etc. We'll guide you to get you ready. And then we bring you into the cohort number 2, January through March, where you'll go through the same intensity that cohort 1 went through. And we will put you in front of investors at the end of March. So we're giving you the opportunity and setting you up for success by making sure we understand where you fit in, right? First cohort or second cohort.
There's one question that comes to my mind, Arvind, which we didn't really address here. Let's say there's a mature startup that we identify should join in October, but they're saying, okay, sir, I'd love to start in Jan. I don't want to start in October. Would that be okay with you?
I would say, Amit, that will be a case by case basis, right? If
Sure.
there is such a situation, definitely we will find ways to accommodate for it and we will find ways to tackle it. But it would be case by case, right? It depends on what industry they are in, it depends on what stage they are in and how much they've built. So I would take that question on a case by case basis, but we will accommodate for things like that for sure.
Awesome. And actually, this entire decision to break it down into two cohorts, there was one more reason for that, right? So our intention when we were starting this program is to also have some startups who are at the idea stage, some startups who are at the
Correct.
prototype stage, and
Correct.
some startups that are the MVP stage. And as
Correct.
you can imagine, the guys who are more mature, who already have some traction, more grounding, I could say, would be the guys who start in cohort one. Whereas if you still need to refine your idea, if you still need that prep work before that intense 10-week period starts, that's when you get into cohort two. And now, when you hear this, it starts making sense. So, even if you have an idea, you stand an equally good chance to getting into this program.
Correct. And that's correct, Amit. When you come into the Builders Pitch Fest with an idea, or a very, very early MVP, and you've proven yourself through the Builders Pitch Fest, then when you enter our program, the higher odds are you will go into cohort two because October to December, we will give you some prep work for you to do before you enter the cohort. That's correct, Amit.
And that prep work will be kind of light, right? It will not be as intense as the Jan to March period. Is that right?
Correct. Jan to March is when the intensity picks up. But yes, we will expect from October to December also the startups to be able to do some amount of work that gets them ready to enter the cohort and be successful.
Awesome. Great. Okay, so this is the fun bit, right? What really happens at the end of the 10-week program? Could you tell us a little bit more about demo day, Arvind?
All right. So demo day is the day where you tell the world what you've been building. You tell the world how amazing your product idea is. You share your passion and your commitment, and that's our goal, right? Demo day is your day. It's the day we put you on stage and you really tell investors, you tell the enterprises that this is what you've been working on and this is why it's going to benefit them and the world. And hopefully that that launches you towards a high amount of success. And in practical terms, our hope is that it lays the foundation for you to get your seed or angel funding because you're an early stage startup. So I'm assuming you're going to be looking for seed or angel funding when you come out of our program. Or maybe you're looking for more enterprise customers, and maybe even the enterprises you're working with may want to invest in you. So all of those things open up during demo day. So we'll have investors, enterprises, and the community, and more importantly, Amit, we may also have some press in there. Correct? So these startups may get an opportunity to even talk to the press. So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
demo day.
Absolutely. Bang on. All right, superb. So we've
Yeah.
come to the end of our questions, Chevy. Are there any questions in the audience that we should answer
Yes,
at this stage?
we have few questions which I'll show it up on the screen.
Sure.
So the first question is all the co-founder required to join offline? We are three co-founders team.
Let me take that question, Amit.
Sure.
It depends. We will let you make that decision. Um, for the immersion week, we are going to be tackling both business challenges and product challenges.
Right.
So it will require both technical expertise and some amount of vision for where you want to take your particular startup. So as long as you are able to bring that and represent that in the offline program, then we allow you to make that decision. But we will have an upper cap, right? I think that we would recommend that if you're a three or if you're a two or more startup team today, we recommend that you choose two people and not more than that. And obviously, at a minimum, you have one person joining our program.
Awesome.
Okay, so this is the last question for the day,
Sure.
which is if we have selected stage two in the form, are we still eligible to participate in the pitch fest or do we directly apply to the incubator?
So this one's fairly simple. You can directly apply to the incubator. You can bypass the pitch fest, and after hearing what you have, if you feel, "Oops, I think I made a mistake. I should have selected myself as stage one," you can reach out to the Hack to Skill team by writing to support@hack to skill, and they can help you to revise your stage from stage two to stage one. So that possibility also exists.
Let me add one more possibility to that, Amit. So if you're a stage two and you've applied as a stage two startup, and if there's some compelling reason why you still want to go through Builders Pitch Fest, then just email us, right? Tell us why you want to do that. If you know you're in an advanced stage, what is the reason for you to want to go through Builders Pitch Fest? And at that point, if it makes sense, yeah, you can even as a stage two, you can go through Builders Pitch Fest, but there has to be a compelling reason for that. So do email us and let us know why you would want to do that.
Okay.
Awesome.
So thank you, Arvind. So that brings to the end of our today's session. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Arvind. Thank you so much to take this session in the early morning. Thank you so much. It was a great session, and the comments. Oh my God, I can see there were a lot of comments, and we have answered most of them. But still, if we there are few questions or if you have any questions, you can mail us at support@hacktoskill.com for all your queries. So thank you so much, Amit. Thank you, Arvind, for this session. Thank you.
Thank
It
you
was
for
a
having
great.
me here. Yeah, thank you for
Absolutely.
having me here. I want to wish all the founders the best of luck. I hope to see all of you at Builders Pitch Fest or apply to us directly. I'm looking forward to meeting every one of you in person.
Fantastic. Likewise. Thank you, Chevy. Thank you, Arvind. And
Thank you
thank you
so
to
much,
everyone
guys.
who showed up. Yeah.
Thank you. Stay tuned, guys, for the next session. See you soon. Thank you.
All right.
Keep building. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Bye.